Oh, Jesus. This Aphelios is pretty exhausting. I don't know if I'd change much in this deck. I mean, I think the third get excited
I'm basically
I might cut, but honestly, I mean, with the kinds of things that we're seeing, get excited is really nuts right now. Where does the name Fussy Eater come from? A typo. Twisted Fate Fizz. I mean, we just keep get excited because killing the TF is kind of the only thing that matters. I don't think I keep Heimer because we have Aphelios to hit as well. So LoR Priestess is not really great in this matchup. Let's do this. Oh, man. Do you have board space for Heimer? So it's a good question because, you know, Heimer plus Veiled thing, it kind of reduces your board space. But that's fine. It seems kind of awkward, but... And it is a bit of a downside, but Veiled Temple works really well for Heimer in other ways. Like, the mana is kind of worth the -1 board space. If you have 5 units on board, you're not unhappy at all. I mean, that deck can't really do much, right? It's a free attack. What is he gonna play a suit up that he drew off the top? So I can Nightfall out my Aphelios with just the Ballistic Bot. Could be Vi, since it likes lots of cards being played in Overwhelm. Vi's not bad. The problem I have with Vi is that, I mean, I just don't think she's an amazing card in general. Do I just Nightfall out the Aphelios now? I think so, yeah. Like, she can take the Overwhelm, but we already have Ballistic Bots that are taking the Overwhelm. So, I think it's a little bit redundant. Well, this has to be a matchup where dealing 3 to a follower isn't bad, right? Severum for Lifesteal? Lifesteal's pretty great here. It might be a little early for it. Stun something twice. Summon a 2 cost. I could go Crescendum and get the 3rd Ballistic Bot. I think that actually might be best. I think I just get the 3rd Ballistic Bot. Like, this deck wants to really spam Ballistic Bots. So now I can play the second thing to phase a New Moon weapon. So I play Crescendum and then the Ignition. And this is where I phase Severum, I think. Because I will want the lifesteal after this. That's kind of my lose condition. So now I phase Severum, pulling out the 3rd bot. And then we can Ignition, buffing the bot while getting the Severum for next turn. Yeah, we can't kill the TF right away. Well, I can just Thermo Beam it. I mean, it's not like he'll have drawn suit up here, right? If I Thermo Beam it, we're still getting the weapon, so this is perfect. So we get the Severum. Of course, you know, we lose the Ignition, but that doesn't matter at all. And our win condition, his deck doesn't have an answer to a big Overwhelm. So our win condition is going to be several turns from now, we're going to attack with a really big Overwhelm. That's how we win. Like, the Ballistic Bot will eventually, we'll get the Overwhelm one, and that will just win us the game. This deck counters that one fairly hard. Aphelios and Lee sucks, I'm pretty sure. I agree with that. It's possible. The deck would be built really differently. I wouldn't say I'm pretty sure, but I think it's unlikely to be good in Lee Sin. So I can phase any weapon I want here. If I want, I can smack the Zap for 3, but I'll deny myself of my weapon this round. Giving something lifesteal without elusive doesn't do anything. Oh, maybe going for the lifesteal here one was just wrong. Maybe it had to be wrong. I might have messed up. Because I should have known I had to play the weapon this turn, right? I had to have known that. Yeah, I think we just play this. I'm actually just going to win with this Ignites and one of these bots just smacking face. If he has a Get Excited, then he can potentially kill a bot that's trying to smack face. Unless we have the lifesteal one as well. Okay, so he takes the Get Excited now. I'm actually fine with that. Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with that. And I guess I just Get Excited the Zap here. Like, the thing is, we don't really need our card if we're just going to outgrind him anyway, right? Like, all we need to do is protect our health. A big turn with bro. Yeah, I mean, that deck isn't really easy to outgrind. That's true. Is it possible that hitting the Zap isn't correct? I have to. I have to start saving the health. Poro Cannon. Yeah, we can't hit the Fizz because Poro Cannon is really easy for him to have. Like, this deck thrives off of people trying to kill the Fizz there. It's not really that big of a deal either. Like, Fizz isn't much better than a Zap. It's good because it's a 1-mana card. It gains value when people try to go in to kill it like that. So the Sump Dredger here is good just to gain value. And this is how our deck plays for out value. Solar Priestess has good value as well with Star Shaping. I mean, we can outgrind most things. We're still looking for an Overwhelm, so we can play the Priestess first into the Sump Dredger. The Priestess... can I use the Priestess? The Dredger can potentially put him on a bit of a clock. We're not using the Lifesteal. We can use the Lifesteal this round, Dredgering to gifts. Let's Priestess first. Priestess is not really great in this matchup. It might have been a bait to play it at all. It's just like there's not a ton I really wanted to do with my mana this turn. It might have literally been better playing my third bot. Severum and Infernum this round with Igni. With Gifts from Beyonds? Not yet. It's too early to blow my load. Yeah, I probably should have just played my other Ballistic bot. Yeah, I mean, I think we can survive his next attack. Star Shaping will help us survive. And we literally set up to do just the Overwhelm kill blowout. We use the Severum first, so we're immune to Get Excited. If he kills the bot we're Severuming with Get Excited, then the other bot is the one we Overwhelm. So we're gonna kill him next turn, or we're gonna try. This is so stupid. I don't know if we'll have enough mana though. Yo, Grappler, what's up, man? Thanks for the raid. It's a little awkward. I'm not sure exactly what attacks we have as well. If we attack with this, it'll probably block it down. I don't think he'll want to block with elusives. He might go for a value trade on this bot. I think we actually attack with all 3 bots. Oh, he's actually blocking with his elusives. What? I mean, I don't know if I even mind that. This is so weird. Because both of our decks have crazy ability to outgrind. He's already used 2 of his Burble Fishes. I've got a lot of healing and stuff, and I can kill his TF. I'm not really afraid of anything his deck can do now. I don't think so. Like, he slowed down my win condition, but I think he slowed down his by more. I can just Traveler here. Really no great option. Traveler... Is Traveler ever... You know, if Traveler pulled, like, Equinox or something, maybe I should have played it earlier, just because, yeah, there was a chance it could have pulled Equinox. We can trade down Serpent. Written... I think Written is necessary here. Like, we just need a crazy amount of value. Written will get us either Aphelios or Heimer, and that'll just nut out. So Aphelios' level up isn't an I've seen, right? You just have to play 4 moon weapons. That's so good. It means, like, drawing the second Aphelios will basically always be leveled in that case. So yeah, I mean, he did have a crazy amount of Burble Fishes. We're taking more damage than I would like here. I think we might hope Written in the Stars pulls Heimer. We don't have elusives for that, though. We'll try to do... I mean, we don't have as crazy of a Severum. I mean, Written in the Stars might be too expensive now. Because he can force us to sometimes Star Shaping this turn. If he has a crazy, like, double Mystic hand. Oh, he did get the 1 Ignition as well. The 1 Ignition is really helping him, too. It's going to be really hard to survive one more turn. I mean, I can take the Written. Swarm with Heimer. He's always going to have one more attack that's going to be decent. I guess I still have to go for the Written plan. This is really awkward. I really didn't expect him to block down the bots. That was such a weird move. I mean, it might have been safer to not attack with them. But I don't really like that. Yeah, I don't know. God, that landmark would have been so good this game. That would have been so good. Maybe Flash over Priestess. Yeah, the Priestess wasn't really good. The Priestess definitely just didn't really do enough. Get excited on the attack, because Elusive takes the get excited always. Yeah, I mean, we can get excited there. Sure. Yeah, I mean, we can never really win this. You can only really win if his hand is blanked out. And that deck, the deck is designed to never have a blank hand. That's just how TF decks work. I mean, he has burned through most of his Burble Fishes. This Mystic is an interesting draw. We actually have enough mana to play it. Mystic, Star Shaping, Hush. 1 Victor for discard targets. Victor's not that bad. I don't think it's better than Heimer just because we do need an alternate win condition. He does have a lot of land units. Like, his attack isn't really threatening too much here. I wonder what he's thinking about. Okay, Mind Meld is pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I guess that forces us to just like kill 2 elusives here, right? Heimer, you need to play 6 mana to get the elusive one now, right? Yeah. Alright. So we just do this. If he has like a suit up, that's pretty nasty here. Hush Fizz. Yeah, I mean, we can Hush Fizz after. So this looks decent. I mean, he's not going to have Overwhelm or anything, and he Mind Melded, so, you know, he doesn't have like more elusives that are big this turn. It's pretty easy to just pre-commit the Severum here. The phase can't matter, right? There's no way the phase matters here unless I'm missing something. So I can just use it on this. And now we can Hush block the Fizz with this. It's a little vulnerable to like Get Excited hands, but against Get Excited we can't really win because the Hush is forced, which means we have to tap under Star Shaping no matter what, just because of Mind Meld. So Mind Meld Get Excited hand is good here. I guess using the lifesteal kind of like sacrifices Heimer. That might be an issue. Like if we played a turret instead, we might not sacrifice Heimer. I wonder like what kind of hands that matters the most for. Yeah, I think maybe, does it matter which I gave lifesteal to? No, not really. I could have given lifesteal to Heimer, but Heimer had to block the Fizz no matter what, right? I don't think there's any way around that. So if he has Get Excited, then he's trolling, but he's also good. We beat top decks by doing this with the lifesteal. And we can replenish this board here. Alright, we might be fine. Yeah, this is kind of why Heimer might make more sense than Victor. Heimer, the problem with running something like Victor, and pretty much Zoe, I wouldn't rule out Zoe with this deck at all. But the purpose of the second champion is we kind of need an alternate win con. And that's at least why Heimer is currently in the list. Red card's a little nasty. I mean, he's got to be like out of steam at this point, really. He's used 2 TFs, he's used all of his Burble Fishes. And we've got Star Shaping to fix the hand as well. Our Aphelios is leveled, whatever that means. We've got 2 weapons. We can start by playing... I don't mind just giving the lifesteal weapon on Heimer, honestly. We need a way to deal with the TF. Crescendum doesn't work because we've already played all of our bots from our deck. So it does literally nothing. Maybe I just go into Calibrums and just kill his board and go wide. Now, giving lifesteal to Heimer has to be better. I don't think he can really counter that. Like, maybe a suit up block could be nasty. That's the one thing. And again, the phase doesn't matter here because we're just choosing another weapon anyway. Lifesteal turret? Turret? Then it gets Mystic Shotted. That's pretty bad, right? Oh, we're not beholding a Celestial. Man, that's awkward. Wow, I guess I have to do Great Beyond. I guess so. The turret has stuff. Yeah, the 3-2-1 only gets killed by Get Excited. That's true. No one might have been better. I guess it's just Great Beyond. I mean, Raise would be really nice if I actually had something for it. He'll have to take some blocks here. He has no good answer to this Heimer because it's a 5-6. I think buffing the Heimer is fine there. Like, his deck can't really answer this. We're outside of Aftershock range, so we can develop into a full attack here. This full attack should pretty much destroy him. He needs to, like, Mystic Shot his own blocker to Heimer to stop the lifesteal. And then, I mean, it's just really hard for him to get the last part of this lethal. This deck leads to crazy games. I mean, Aphelios decks in general. The weapons are Celestial but aren't Celestial? Wait, they're not Celestial, right? Yeah, they're not, like, technically Celestial cards for the Behold. Okay, I mean, we're at 9. We've killed his entire board. It looks like we have successfully outgrinded this guy. Is Aphelios big brain? Oh, yeah. I mean, Aphelios is a true, like, 8-head card. You have to exert all of your brain cells to play this card. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. It's painful, dude. Like... Oh, man. Like, I do like the feeling of it. It's exhausting. The amount you have to think about. Like, it's not that bad just playing a couple of games of it, but if you were to sit down and play, like, Aphelios decks for, like, 4 hours, that does get exhausting. Like, it starts to stack up on you. Like, oh, God. But yeah, I mean, I like this version. In a different meta, I definitely wouldn't run 3 Glimpse. Or sorry, 3 Get Excited. 2 Sump Dredgers is... Yeah, I mean, I definitely would have to look at this more to kind of decide how I feel about some of the ratioing stuff. I don't know if I love Guiding Touch that much. Lab now? I might be interested in doing Lab now. I'm just going to look at... I think I might mess around with some different Aphelios concepts. Or maybe I could try Veiled Temple in a way that doesn't even use Aphelios. Like, maybe there's some weird Veiled Temple concepts out there. But I do think that it's time to move on. Labs are sick. Yeah, I've heard the labs are really cool. I think that's where my interest is right now. This feels high tier 2 at the minimum. Yeah, I think I'd say that. Like, it's a solid high tier 2 deck with tier 1 potential. I think that generally Aphelios decks are going to be in that range. Aphelios is a good card. It just comes down to... it's really tricky to play. Like most Targon decks, it might not have as high of a ladder win rate just because of misplays. But it's a really solid card. Veiled Temple is just a nuts card. Yeah, I think it's really great. I got bullied for saying the card was good. AMA. The question is if Aphelios is better than Zoe in this deck. For sure. I mean, I think Aphelios is better than Heimer. Yeah, I think I'd rather run Aphelios Heimer than Heimer Zoe. It's not 100%, but the champ slots are getting really, really tight. So I can see that. Put list in chat. Without Aphelios' lifesteal, you would have lost this game. I mean, that's kind of a smiley face statement. Like, if I had Zoe instead, I'd be, like, shading elusives and attacking on turn 1. Like, I mean, I should hope that my card is having an impact on the outcome of the game. That's kind of a given. Right? BBG says Temple is garbage. Yeah, there's a lot of non-believers in Temple. It's definitely not garbage, but it's possible it will end up missing the mark. I think it's pretty underrated. I wouldn't call it nuts, and it's definitely not good in every Targon deck. You do need to run it in a specific kind of deck, and it's probably more of a 2 of than a 3 of. But certainly not garbage. Play Goat instead of Sketcher. I think that this deck's ability to tutor Ballistic Bot is pretty important. The thing I'm less feeling is a couple of things about this deck, like the Guiding Touches. The most important thing about this deck, I'm pretty sure Mountain Goat is bad in this deck, by the way. And I think that a really important element of this deck build is that because we can tutor out Ballistic Bot every time, we can run great cards like Zona Urchin, Poro Cannon. We can run a high ratio of like high value discard cards that we normally wouldn't be able to run. And as soon as we turn in Goat, that goes away. And I know that seems kind of weird because you might be thinking, well, Swim, doesn't Goat generate you a card anyway? I mean, if it gets Mystic Shot, it doesn't. But the biggest thing is it only generates you 1 discard target normally. And part of the reason we can run these cards at a high ratio is like, even if we only get 1 Ballistic Bot, it unbricks hands of like heavy, like double Urchin or double Sun Dredger or that kind of thing, right? So specifically, getting Bot reliably is really, really good for this deck, especially with the alt win con of the Overwhelm on the Bot, right? So this is very similar to the Theorycraft deck I built, except I wasn't running Heimer. I was running a Zoe Aphelios version. And of course, Veiled Temple didn't exist at the time. But yeah, I like this. This is a really good direction to take this in. For sure. I might experiment with this a little bit more.